was the first time that like I trusted myself. And I think that was like so important and pivotal because I've always struggled with trusting my own voice and trusting my decisions and what I think about things. And it's taken like a lot of practice to trust my own intuition and trust my own feelings about things and listening to that and doing it. And when I've done that, like the decisions have always been good decisions. Hello and welcome to episode 97 of Working Towards Our Purpose. In today's episode, we're going to talk about being afraid of making the wrong decision. But before we get into that, we're going to take a moment and just check in with ourselves as we always do and just slow down and see where we're at today. All right. Hopefully you got a second to check in. For me, I'm feeling pretty good today. Feeling proud of myself, which is a feeling that I struggle to feel. Went to open mic last night, as I do every Wednesday, and I felt like I did pretty good by my standards, which, makes me feel good. And yeah, trying to stay with that feeling of being proud of myself. And I don't know, just feeling like the repetitions are paying off and like I'm seeing progress, and that's a cool feeling. And yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. But yeah, if you're not feeling proud of yourself, that's okay too. And yeah, all feelings welcome. But let's get into today's episode. The feeling of being afraid of making the wrong decision. And this is certainly a feeling I'm familiar with. I think this topic came to me from talking to a friend who is making a big decision, a career change, a risk, going out on the ledge and trying something, not knowing if it's going to work out. Definitely can empathize with that and know what that feels like. And yeah, it's like exciting for me to like talk to someone else who's not me, because when it's you, it's scary and challenging and difficult. But from a different perspective, it's like, yes, go do that. Like go try it. But yeah, let's get into that feeling of like what it feels like to be scared of making the wrong decision. Because I mean, that's plagued me for like my whole life, I think, like being just so unsure of like a decision and like trying to put all the pieces together and like get everybody's opinions and being like, am I doing this right? And yeah, so this friend expressed to me like, just like it's hard to know if it's like the right decision. And like you're making this decision, and even after making it and like committing on it, like feeling like not regret, but like, oh no, did I make the right decision? Was the decision that I made correct? Am I making a mistake, sort of thing? I think one really big thing that happens whenever you're making a decision and getting other people's advice and opinions and input, I think there's everybody has an opinion. Everybody like tells you what's right and what's wrong. And I think like, especially when you're making a bigger decision, that it brings out like all the opinions, and everybody will tell you something different. And it's confusing. Like it makes you confused because one person who maybe you trust tells you this thing, and then another person tells you the opposite. And it can be hard to know what's right. And so this friend that I was talking about, it was funny because her boss was like kind of swaying her to do the opposite of what she wanted to do. And it's just interesting because like that same boss was the person that like you come in the morning, you ask him how he is, and he's like, I just, I'm here, like, sort of thing. Like, I don't know. From the outside, from what I hear, it seems like, maybe he's not perfectly happy with his life choices, but yet here he is being like, you should do this because I was in your shoes one time, and like, this is what I did, and it was good for me, and like, yeah. So it's interesting. Like, you I guess you really have to be careful of like whose advice you take, um, and yeah, I mean, it reminded me of like so many of my own choices and decisions, and my choice to leave corporate and make that huge career change and life decision, and yeah, just so many different people giving you their input, and just leading to confusion and being afraid, and I've shared this before, but like I remember when I was leaving corporate, one person that I felt like I aligned with a lot told me that like making this feels like a big jump, but something will catch you, and maybe you don't know what it is now, but like it'll work out. And I always go back to that piece of advice because it worked very well for me, and it made me confident in like making a decision even if I didn't know what the outcome was going to be, because I knew it was like more in the right direction. And so yeah, I like to share that whenever I can, that like, if you're afraid of making a decision and not sure if it's the right one, not sure if it's going to lead to a good outcome, know that like something will catch you. And if it's a decision that's made for you, then nothing, I believe nothing truly bad can come from it. And if it is bad, it's a learning experience, but we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, reminding me of like the decisions that I've made. And this one comes to mind. Back in 2023, I like recorded my first album and like finally finished something for once. Cause like I've always been recording stuff my whole life since learning how to play guitar, and never finishing things, never ever sharing anything, like never putting it out there. But I just had this like conviction that like I needed to post it online and like put it on Spotify and all the streaming sites and stuff under my own name. And I was really afraid to make that decision. And I like went back and forth, and like, I was like, is this even good? I don't even know. Like, I never showed anybody. It could be terrible. It's cringy, maybe, like, just thinking of all the bad things that could come of like putting yourself out there. And I eventually came to the decision to just do it and not tell anybody, because that felt easier. And I did. And a lot of things came from that, I think. And like, do I like it now? Like, I don't know, maybe. But it was a piece in time, like it's a, I feel like all music is that. But what it did for me was it made me feel more like made me take my music more seriously, because I was like, okay, I finished this thing and now I can improve upon that. And now I can go and do more things that I want to do. And ever since doing that, a decision that was really hard for me, like I've been regularly releasing music and writing music, and it's been such a positive change for my music career, I guess, if you want to call it that. That feels weird, but yeah. And so how did I know that like that decision was a good decision? And I think maybe that was like one of the first decisions where I thought of it in this way. So getting to the point of like, how do you know that you're making the right decision? And like, that's sort of like a clickbaity title, I guess. But what I've found for me is that when you're making decisions and you're getting everybody's input and you're confused and everything, the way to tell if you're making the right decision is to look inward. And it's probably no shock. It's no like big secret or anything, but like if you can check in with your own self and like make sure that you're doing something, you're making a decision because it's something that's internal, like it's something that you desire or something that you feel like you have to do, or that voice in your head, that quiet voice in your head. That's how, for me, I can tell if I'm making a right decision. And I think if I go back to thinking about like that, releasing that album, I thought about like all the people that know me and like what is it going to look like? And like every time I did that, I like didn't want to do it. But when I went on walks and I was by myself and I was in a good place and happy and like, full of energy, I I thought to myself like, yes, that's easy. Just do it. This is what you want to do. You want to do music. And I relied on like that. And I think like I said, it was the first time that like I trusted myself. And I think that was like so important and pivotal because I've always struggled with trusting my own voice and trusting my decisions and what I think about things. And maybe if you're somebody like that, um, you can relate. But it's taken like a lot of practice to trust my own intuition and trust my own feelings about things and listening to that and doing it. And when I've done that, like the decisions have always been good decisions. And right or wrong is such a cliche almost. Like a decision doesn't have to be like right or wrong, but like when you're making a decision for yourself, then it's going to be the right decision, because even if it leads to a bad thing, it's going to teach you something. It's going to let you feel like you have authority in your life and you can trust yourself more. And I think like that's kind of the biggest thing is for me, like trusting my own self. And when I released that album, it gave me more confidence in my own decision making, because at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter what if I put it out or didn't put it out to anybody else, but for me it was huge. And it was like this huge stepping stone of like, okay, I write singer-songwriter music now, and like I'm this is something I do, and this is something I can do. And the permission, the seeing myself in through that lens, like all of that happened because I made the decision that like I was feeling within myself, and I didn't ask for outside permission. And I probably did it too much where like I didn't tell anybody that I did it, and that's kind of crazy. But that was my way of doing it. That was my way of like not getting the outside influence, basically like not asking anybody except like I think I maybe told my therapist, and I think that was pretty much it. And so yeah, the point that I'm getting to is like, how do you know that you're making a good decision? You got like ask yourself, is it aligned with you? That's like the number one thing. Like, does it feel true to you? Does it feel like something that like you truly desire? Or is it like something that you think you should do based off of somebody else's opinion or based off of societal expectations? And yeah, like internally versus externally. Like I think when you can make a decision and that it's coming from you, coming internally, then it can't be a wrong decision, because if you didn't do that thing, then maybe you'll still keep thinking about it, but like at least you can rely on the fact that like you thought it was right and you thought that it was the best move for you. And somebody said something one time recently that I thought was pretty funny, and I don't even remember the context of it, but they were saying like it was their I forget what it was. Dang, I forget. But he said something like I don't know, this is like my first time like living life. and I thought that was like such a comical way of putting it, because like yeah, none of us know what the right decision is, like none of us none of us know what the right decision is or like how to do life, because we've never done life before. We're doing it now for the first time. But if you can like call on yourself and listen to what's within you, then like that's the best option. You know what I mean? Like that's the best way of trying to figure out what's going to make you happy and like where you should be going with your life and that sort of thing, because that's all you got, like just your own inner voice. And you can do things for other people, and I found that does not lead to happiness for me. Going to college for something I didn't want to do, going into a career that I didn't want to do, I found it just led to emptiness and frustration, anger, like all those feelings. Like I was angry at myself for not letting myself be who I wanted to be. And I think that's kind of what this boils down to. And it's like, if you can make a decision for you, for the person that you are, then it can't be a wrong decision. And yeah, it's like it's that simple. And I hope I'm making sense here, but I feel like I'm rambling a bit. But yeah, that's the main point. Like just super simple. Like if it's simple to say and it's simple to like to talk about, but to actually do it, it's much harder, and it takes a lot of practice, and like, starting with small decisions, like taking ownership over things, and like, I don't know, we live in a world that you can get by with having like no ownership of your decisions, and just by making no decisions. And we even talked about this in I think the last episode about decisions. So maybe I shouldn't have done 2 episodes with decisions in the title, but that's okay. So yeah, I just want to talk about that. I just wanted to like sort of share that like you can't make a wrong decision when it's coming from within you. And hopefully that was helpful to anybody listening. Hopefully that made sense. I know it's like super simple, but it's a super complex feeling, but it's a super simple answer. So I tried my best to distill it down and yeah, just put my thoughts out there. So yeah, that's I think that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, just trust your own voice. Um, and yeah, if you have a hard time being hard on yourself, if you are hard on yourself, I have a free guide, softening your inner critic in 7 days. It's sort of walks you through like less than 30 minutes a day, these little exercises that can help you after 7 days be hopefully a little more kinder to yourself. So you can download that for free. It's in the link of every episode, every YouTube video. It also gets you on my newsletter so that you get reminded of these episodes, and no spam or anything. And it's completely free. And let me know if you download it. Let me know if it's helpful for you or if it's not. And I'd like to know. So that's all I got for you today. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you on another episode real soon. We're coming really close to episode 100. I'm going to do something a little different for episode 100 and maybe recap like the whole podcast existence and like what I've learned over the past 3 years on purpose and working and everything. So look forward to that. We got a couple more episodes towards that. So can look forward to that in the future. But thanks for listening. Appreciate your time, and hopefully you can have a great rest of your day.